Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Veteran Hard Talk. Today we're going to go through a subject that is close to my heart and probably close to a lot of veterans' hearts. Mental health. Do we have a mental health crisis within defence and within the veterans community? I think there's a clear answer, and it's going to be yeah. We just had the Royal Commission into veteran suicide. I think it highlighted a lot of things that people in the Department of Defence and in the veteran community already knew. I don't think there's going to be one organisation to blame. I don't think there's going to be one organisation to fix this problem. Things that were highlighted in the Royal Commission were things like high rates of suicide. You know, women in defence are more likely to take their lives than the average Australian woman. We know now that veterans who medically discharged for whatever reason are 3 times more likely to end their lives than the average Australian. And we know that people that have been on deployments, Afghan, Iraq, war zones, are at higher risk of committing suicide. Cultural barriers was another thing that was raised. I think culturally, I can only speak from Navy perspective, but mental health is something that is not an issue when you're a sailor, because you just don't talk about it. You don't just wake up and go, shit, I'm having a bad day, I'm just gonna go talk to my oppo, or I'm gonna go talk to command, or talk to my senior staff that I'm having mental health problems. It just wouldn't happen. It's just a sign of weakness. And mental health can be used as a tool. People in defence have used mental health to go to a wedding, to get off deployments, to go to birthdays. You know, that's one of the reasons why mental health isn't taken so seriously. I have done it myself too. My wife was about to give birth to our first child, and we were due to go on deployment at the same time. They couldn't guarantee me to get off the ship to be there for the birth. So I walked into the psych's office and said, hey, you don't get me off this fucking ship, I'm gonna jump off. And, you know, from that, within 5 minutes, I was taken off the ship, never to return again. So that's something that culturally I think in defence is going to be hard, because you're going to have to change the mindset of not only people in defence, but Australia as a whole. You know, I think men are just really shit at talking about their feelings. We'd rather bottle it in, keep all our stress in, you know. And unfortunately it gets to a point where it will explode. I was fortunate, or unfortunate, to join at a time when Navy was implementing the new generation Navy. There was issue with unacceptable behaviour and a series of events that made Navy stand up and say, hey, we're changing our culture, this is what's happening. And for a good 4 years, it was just constant briefs and PowerPoints. To be honest, no one gave a shit. Even the old school sailors who were part of the old issue, you know, all it did was drive the issue down deeper. And it just forced people not to talk up about their problems. You know, if there was an unacceptable issue, we brought it to command and it just stopped there. Never went any further. So they say now there is no new generation Navy, it's just Navy now. Because they think that, I don't know, a lot of these issues have been solved. But I can tell you a lot of sailors join, a lot of kids join, hearing these old stories. All these old fucked up stories of sailors doing these unacceptable things. And they want to relive it. They want to be part of that story for the next generation. Oh, did you hear about so-and-so? You did this to that person. And sometimes it's encouraged by command. Command like, oh, did you do this, did you do that? So, not to get too sidetracked, but I can see this cultural problem in defense itself is going to head down the same path. A whole bunch of PowerPoints, no one's going to really pay attention. Sign this dotted line, yep, you've done it. I saw some drafts being done up online from Department of Defense and DVA, the whole pyramid. This is what you gotta do, this is what's acceptable, this is what's unacceptable. I just hope more is done physically and in a presence than something that's done up on a PowerPoint. Yeah, you read it, you're sweet, don't kill yourself. What I mean by physical, I think defense needs to implement more training for people in defense. At the moment now, could be wrong, but there is just a ticking flick that you do at the start of every year. And it just tells you to look out for your oppos. You know, look out for signs, and, you know, if they're giving away all their stuff, and stupid shit like that. The one thing in defense that people really good do is hiding their emotions. Because you have to. You always have to look like you're on the go, you're ready for anything. That's what we're trained to do. Resilience. You know? Resilience is a big part of being in defense. So when they start saying, oh, look out for these signs, look out for your oppos, if they're sad and all that shit, yeah, the biggest thing that we can do is hide our emotions. So, to me it's like shit. And depending on what posting you're in, anyway, 9 out of 10 times they have all the answers on the board and you're just tick and flicking off the board. You're not even reading the sheets. So that's something that needs to change. I firmly believe that command, what I mean by command, captains, admirals, vice admirals, they should not have the power when it comes to mental health. I believe it should come down to a professional. I think a professional who has studied psychology, whether it be a nurse, psychiatrist, psychologist, should be instantly referred to that department. And people should be encouraged to speak about their feelings with no repercussions. So I think that's the big thing. Repercussions, people think that, fuck, if I talk about, you know, having a shit day, not feeling well, they're gonna take me off my deployment. They're gonna take me off the ship. People won't talk to me anymore. I won't have friends. You know, that kind of stigma is what's holding the culture back in defense. You know, we should be encouraged to talk about things with no repercussions. If I say, fuck, I feel like jumping off something higher. I don't know why. They shouldn't then go, fuck, there's your career. You're banned from all weapons. You know, there's a whole lot of, which you should. But there's such a flow-on effect when you start raising these issues that it scares the average person. It scares the sailor into talking up. So you hide it. So culturally in defense it's going to take a lot longer, I believe. Because you're going to have to change the mindset of not just defense, but it's going to really have to the broader civilian community as well, because men just do not talk. You know, we're big badass men. So, other things that were raised as well. Were stuff like need for early intervention, transition challenges. Okay, transitioning out of defense into civilian world is a head fuck. If you don't have the right people around you that know what they're doing, it's such a muddy minefield of just a whole lot of shit that you need to go through. And it creates its own mental health problems. I can speak on behalf of medically transitioning. You know, unfortunately, I fought to the very end. I didn't want to medically discharge. I wanted to go on my own terms. But unfortunately, you know, I'm just another number which I figured out. Even with the small medical issues I had, I could have worked still, but you know, it's just easier for them to kick me out, pay me a pension, than actually put me through rehab and get better. That's another issue. When you medically discharge, there should be a full psych evaluation. Full psych evaluation. And if you have signs of mental health, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideologies, you shouldn't discharge. You should be sent to a facility and go through rehab so you can learn the coping techniques. You shouldn't go, see you later. Okay, for example, for me, I didn't do a psych evaluation. Before I left, I wanted to know if I was having issues with depression and anxiety. So I got a referral from defense and saw a Navy psychologist, but he was a civilian. And then he diagnosed me with major depressive disorder after a couple of months of talking to him. And then I said, alright, hey, is that going to hold me back from medically discharge? He goes, no, we'll just sign you off. Just make sure you get help when you leave defense. And that was it. The fact that I signed the dotted line and say I'm happy I'm leaving J51 medical discharge, just wash their hands of all mental health problems. It was like shit. In the veteran community, there is a huge problem. I think that in the broader community, in mental health, there is a fucking massive problem. 3 years in after medically discharging, shit got too real for me. And I couldn't just catch a breath. It was panic attack after panic attack, depression. Then you're just thinking like, fuck it, I'm just gonna end it. I've got family, I've got kids, but you know, that only stays you for so long. Eventually the pain of everything just starts eating me up inside. And I found myself calling all these hotlines, you know, not to shit on them, Open Arms and all those ones, but I called them all, saying like, I'm quite acute, I need mental health, some sort of mental health intervention, because I can't deal with life right now. Yeah, these organisations did jack shit. I think one of them told me to drink some hot water when I'm having a panic attack, it'll make you feel better. Put an ice pack on your head, rub your earlobes. Yeah, these people weren't professionals. And I found myself in the emergency department, saying, oh fuck, look, I can't take this anymore. And in the emergency department, they're like, oh, you don't seem like you're quite acute. You seem like you're quite, you know, coherent, not incoherent. So we don't think you can put you in a mental health facility. Plus you wouldn't want to go anyway because they're full of psychos and drug addicts. So it's like, fair call. So I went home, still trying to deal with it. Went to the doctors, got a shit ton of Xannies, all these other shit with anxiety. Did freaking nothing, just made it worse. And then I found myself calling these numbers again, trying to get some sort of referral to a mental health facility. Then I was trying to find mental health facilities that deal with DVA, who are people with TPI gold cards. You know, and they're like, oh, 6 months wait. You don't want to come here. So so and so. And eventually I went to a DVA psych assessment for my permanent impairment claim. It just happened to fall on the same time I was going through some bad shit. And the lady was like, hey, I'm gonna break protocol here. You need to go to this place. It was the PTSD ward. I'm not gonna say where, but it was the PTSD one that deals with veterans. And I'd never heard of this place. Never has it ever come up with transitioning, never come up with anything. And in this place was ex-veterans, police, fires, anyone that was like emergency kind of service, ambulance. And I ended up staying there for over a month. You know, and it saved my life. You know, every day there was some sort of brief and to go through what I was going through, teach me coping techniques. They put me on the right medication, which I'll go through later on. You know, it has its ups and downs. Like when I got there, it was easier to drug me on antipsychotics. But they taught me that what I was going through was kind of normal. Like all the stress that you go through puts you in a bad place.